In this video, I'm going to go over how to access Spectrum channel content faster. And I've got my TCL Roku TV here. So let me give you some scenarios of what I do. Maybe this will help you out. So I'm going to go to the Spectrum app here. And this will work on other devices. This, of course, is a Roku TV, but we have Roku devices on the other TVs in the other rooms, and it works pretty much the same. So I'm going to click on the Spectrum app here, and by default it goes to whatever channel you were watching. So I was watching CBS, which in this area is channel 4. So we'll be blurring some sections so I don't get called for copyright infringement. So by default, like I said, it goes to the previous channel. So I was watching channel 4, and let's suppose that you wanted to watch, so in my case, I would want to go watch the tennis channel. So I come all the way to the right, and I hold the OK button. And the first thing I want to note here is that I prefer channel number. I'm more of a numbers person, so I can remember the numbers of the stations or channels that I'm watching. So I have it set there. You can see channel number, network name, and so forth. You can go by network if you want. But let me go back to what I was saying here. So I've got it in channel 4, and I want to get to 406, which is the tennis channel. Obviously, I can go hit the navigation button, the down arrow, and you can hold it, and it goes much faster. That's one way to get fast, go faster. Or you can hold down the fast forward button on your streaming section of the remote. So if I hold that down, again, it goes pretty fast. Keep it down, hold it down. Okay, I got past it a little bit, so I get down to 406. So court side here. That's the channel, tennis channel 406. So press the OK button once, so I get to the tennis channel. Now in this particular screen, I say I wanted to go back. I said no, maybe I want to watch something on channel 4. You do have the previous channel option. They used to prompt you when you change channels. I don't think they do it anymore. So in case you don't know this, and I've done some videos on this before, but just in case, if you hold the rewind button on the streaming section of your remote, there, you can access whatever channel you were previously. So accesses the previous channel. So I'm back to channel 4. I hold it down again to go back to the tennis channel. I'm going back. So obviously if you have a regular cable box and a regular remote, you can just enter the channel number, and of course you have previous channel on those also. But on this type of device, you can't go from channel to channel, but just enter the numbers, so you have to scroll through it. So that's one way you can go from 2 channels, and that's what I do on Sundays. I'll have it on CBS, and then I go to Fox. So I'm watching one Cowboy game, or a regular game. Maybe the Cowboys aren't on Fox on that particular Sunday. And then I hit the previous button, and I go to CBS and watch their game. So I go back and forth between commercials and so forth. Now another way we can do this is hit the again the right button, just where you have your OK, toward the middle top of the remote. Go over here to this side, and again hold the OK button, and you get this screen again. So by default it goes to all channels when you click out of this and come back, it'll be all channels. But one way to do it is also if you go to recent channels. So click on recent channels, and there's recent channels. So this doesn't have that many, just the ones you visited recently in the last day or so. So you have it. Have college football there on the Longhorn Network. And then here I can access the tennis channel quicker here because I don't have to scroll because it's on that particular list. Or maybe I want Fox 1 here, motorcycle racing. I can access it like that. And there it is. So again, I go to the right, hit the right arrow here, and I go to this one here. And then again, I hold down the OK button until I get to this menu. Now, I've created a favorites list, and I have done some videos on this, a favorites list. So if you click on this OK button on that, I have the list of, and I don't usually I have quite a few in this one, but I just recently downloaded a new version of the Spectrum app, and I deleted most of these. I do have some here, and this is just my favorites list. So I have sports channels here. I have news, and of course the local stations, CBS, ABC, and so forth. And if you haven't created a favorites list, of course you're not going to have anything there, but if you scroll, let me go back and start it over again so you can see what to do here. If I go to the right, hit the right arrow here on your remote, the half top of the remote to the right, and then hit it again, you get this full. And then I want to go to the left. So I go to the left, and you can see over here, right there, on FS1, select to unfavorite. So see, this one's in my favorites list, so it's already a favorite. But if I want to get rid of it, I just click the OK button. And notice the heart there is not white anymore. It's unselected. And of course I want to keep it because that has a lot of sports, so I watch that a lot, so I'll go ahead and click the OK button again. And that becomes a favorite. And that's the way you create your favorites list. So you go to any of the categories, premium movies or whatever you want, and get this particular screen and go to the left. So let me do it again so it's clear. Click the right arrow on the navigation part of the remote, top half, and then again to the right. You want it like this, and then you can scroll down and select whatever you want for your favorites. Obviously these are all favorites here, but let's go here to the left, and there you have it. This one's a favorite. So again, if I wanted to say you didn't have it, this is a favorite, let me do this. I click on it, and now it's unselected. So you would go through this, whatever category you're in. If you want to pick some of those for your favorites, then just get it to this point here, and then you see select to add favorites. So click on it. That's on your favorites. Now the other thing that I do, my wife does, I do it for her sometimes, is to select some movies. So if I go click on the top left of your remote, there's an arrow there, click on that one. You get to this right here, and then I click on that again. You get to this one here. You have live TV there. And then you go show you another thing here that just in case, down at the bottom, settings. Click on settings. And then preferences, and then to the right, guide guide sorting. So notice here, I have it on channel number, which we did it in the other screen here. If you want to clear your watch list, you can do it here. Clear history and bookmarks, you can do it here. Now there is a startup channel, I've done a video on that. Here I don't have it on, but you can select one, click on this, and you'll have the list of all the different channels, and just click on the one you want and turn this on. And you'll have a startup, so whenever you click on the Spectrum app, it'll go to this particular channel that you select. Now, it turns out that in my area, it's not working. So if I put this on, I had it on the game show channel, but it wasn't working. By default, it just kept going back to whatever channel I was watching. So I haven't called Spectrum about it yet, but again, it's not working in our area right now. We also have the autoplay to watch episodes if you're watching some kind of series here. I haven't really used that. So the other thing I was going to show you is if you want some content available quickly, let me go to my library here. And you can add movies that are on demand to this. I kind of cleared this out, like I said, because I uploaded a new version of the Spectrum app. So I had like, I don't know, 20 movies here. I just recently added a few just for this video. Jurassic Park, Marshall, and of course you can always clear them by clicking on this. You want to get rid of those. And how do you add these? You can add these several ways. You can go to On Demand. You can go TV shows. You can go by search by network here. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go to Featured here. And then just scroll through here. Let me just go to this one here. Trainwreck. You can see here, you can watch it right now if you want to. Or you want to save it for later. Go to Watch List. There's a plus sign there. Click the OK button. And it should put it on the watch list. So let me go back. And let's go to the library. And there it is. And these will be there for a while. Now sometimes they'll take them off the on-demand category, and sometimes you won't be able to watch it only when they schedule it, or sometimes it'll put it $3.50. It'll rent it. Now this one here, let me click on Jurassic Park here. I'll click on Watch. And the movie will play. But again, to avoid copyright infringement, I want to keep it here, and I'll be blurring, like I said, certain things from the video so that doesn't happen. Now you can also do this, and I do this a lot for my wife when we're watching TV late night. I'm going to go here to the right. Click the OK button. And again, I'm going to go ahead and go to categories Premiums. So click on Premiums. Okay, so now I got it here. So notice all the ones that have that back arrow are on demand. And most of these you can watch. There's a few exceptions, but let me see. I click on House of Dragons. See here, you can restart it if you want. But if you want to save it, my wife sometimes is watching something and she'll ask me if I can save this to the library or the watch list, sometimes they call it. So go over here, more info. And if it's set up like this, then you can save it. You can click watch and start watching the movie. Or you can come over here, the watch list, and click on it. Puts an X on it, and that puts it in your library or watch list, and you can watch it anytime you want, as long as it's available. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes I keep some on there for weeks and months at a time, and then eventually I say, okay, I'm going to go watch it, and it'll have a rental. Or it won't be available. You won't have a watch list. You can watch it only whenever the Spectrum decides to play it. And I've done videos on a lot of the stuff that I've gone over, so I kind of gave you an overview of some of the things to look for. The one that I use a lot is the previous channel, like I mentioned earlier. Once you go to one channel, and then you want to scroll down to another one. Once you get on that second channel, then you click the rewind button on your streaming section of the remote, and you can access the previous channel. Other than that, the quickest way to access a particular channel is, again, put it on your favorites or go to recent channels. And it'll give you quicker access than having to scroll through it, because like I said, usually when I close it and then go back to the app, Spectrum app here, by default it goes to the whatever I was watching. There's this one here. So if you want to get something else, you scroll through the right, and like I said, you can hit the right arrow, left arrow, depending on which way you want to go, find the channel you want, or like I said, hold down the OK button. And if you created a favorites, you can go to favorites, or if you want to access something you've watched recently, recent channels, or any other categories that you subscribe to. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.